Hello and welcome to Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. I am Mark Hoffmeyer.
And I am Jay Cluett.
And we're doing a wrap-up episode, Jay.
We are. We don't have a guest this week. It's just the two of us. We finished. We talked about the whole film, chapter by chapter. We did it. We made it. We're here.
Remember when we were just naive kids back in July of 2020, or June of 2020, getting this started?
Yeah, I remember like coming to you the idea, and you'd be like, yeah, that's fine. That sounds cool. And didn't think we'd actually do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know when you call somebody on the dare and they actually like, okay, let's do it. And you're like, oh, crap.
Now I have to climb that mountain.
Yeah. Sure. No. But Lynn, I got to tell you, so when we first started, right, it was just me and you on the first episode, Bionic Stud Muffin.
Yep.
It was like, that was a fun episode. That was good, but like, I love the guests that we had throughout these, we had 33 guests, including the bonus episode?
34. We had one last week as well, yeah. So 34, yeah. 35 if you count. Yeah, you count Fred, yeah.
It's just been fun. We've met some cool people that I don't think I ever would have met had it not been for Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. I think that's probably my highlight. Well, other than just watching Deep Blue Sea almost every single day for months and thinking about Deep Blue Sea every day for months, which we've been thinking about Deep Blue Sea every day for.
It's gotten to the point where my wife has told me that I have been talking about Deep Blue Sea in my sleep. So that is no word of a lie.
Oh, I love it. And whenever Deep Blue Sea anything comes out, I just get so many messages. So during the Super Bowl, there was a Verizon ad.
Yes.
Where Sam Jackson is doing a speech. He's a digital creation, and he's talking about no more lag times for video gaming, and he talks some smack to Juju Smith-Schuster, and a football player for the Steelers. And he goes, all right, well, go get my fish. And as he's finishing up his speech, Samuel Jackson, Juju and his fish eat Sam Jackson. And it's a nice Deep Blue Sea kind of reference in a Super Bowl commercial. And I had about 10, 15 people just sending me messages about, did you hear it? Did you see it? This is amazing. And it just made me really happy.
Yeah, I saw that too. No one told me about that, but I don't know if it's just because it's an American thing. I don't know. I was asleep during the Super Bowl, but but yeah, I saw the commercial too, and yeah, I'm glad it's still in the public consciousness.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the more we talk about it, I think there's some things that are just going to keep this movie rolling. It's got Sam Jackson's surprise death, so whenever you make a list, that'll be in there. And then whenever a shark movie comes out, it's going to be more Deep Blue Sea. And since the third movie, Deep Blue Sea, was actually pretty good, the franchise.
So we hear.
Yeah, so we hear.
we have no proof of this yet, but so we hear.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because a lot of people weren't the biggest fans of Deep Blue Sea 2. So I guess when Deep Blue Sea 3 came out, comparatively, they were excited, if that makes sense.
Yes, because Deep Blue Sea 2. Should we make our announcement now?
Yeah, let's do it. You can do it, Jay.
Okay, this like we said on the previous few episodes, this is not the last episode of Deep Blue Sea. We are going to carry on. We had previously thought about we'll do like one-off shows for some shark movies. We'll tackle 2 and 3. We'll give them one episode each, and then move on to some other shark films. But we had a look into Deep Blue Sea 2 and Deep Blue Sea 3 and looked at the chapters on the DVDs, and there's not that many. There's only 10 chapters for Deep Blue Sea 2 and 11 for Deep Blue Sea 3. That's like 2/3 of the chapters for Deep Blue Sea, split over 2 films. So we're going to cover them chapter by chapter as well. We made this agreement a few weeks ago. I've now seen the film. I've now seen Deep Blue Sea 2, and I'm less on board. But I've made the commitment, so we're going to stick with it, and we're going to do it. And yeah, we're going to come back next week for Deep Blue Sea 2, chapter 1. We're going to get some guests back on, and get some new guests, hopefully. And we're going to do it. And you don't need to watch Deep Blue Sea 2 to join us for this. We're going to be a bit more descriptive in terms of what happens in the chapters, because I'm going to say it now. It's not a good film. It's not great. It does not hold a candle to the first one. We're gonna find some good things. We're gonna find the positives. Mark is very good at being positive about films, and I'm trying to be better. So we will find positive things about these films. About Deep Blue Sea 2 at least. Neither of us have seen Deep Blue Sea 3 at this point. But yeah, we're gonna try. And we have had some previous guests who are like, I really like Deep Blue Sea 2, I want to come back and talk about it. And they're going to come back and talk about it. If you're one of those people and I haven't emailed you yet, then get in touch, please. But yeah, it's going to happen. And I'm going to make...
It should, right? Because didn't we had other plans. And you and I just had this weird realization, maybe around chapter 28, maybe chapter 29. And we just kind of said, well, we should probably just do the rest.
Yeah.
Because, okay, also, this show, I know a lot of shows do minute by minute, but since we've done chapter by chapter, I've really started to notice chapters on Blu-rays, and very few of them have 33 chapters.
30, especially for a film that's what, 100 minutes long? That's crazy. That's wild.
But I think that's perfect though, because our original idea was talking about up to each kill,
which
and that would have been 13, done too soon.
13 chapters. Yeah.
That's not enough.
No, that's not enough. Like, the first chapter would have been covering, I think, 15 minutes of the film, because it's up until the three main sharks take out the tiger shark. So much happens, so much exposition. We meet all of the characters. But there's no way we could have done that one justice. So I'm glad we didn't do that. And then the way the scenes broke up, one of the scenes would have been tiny. Because there's like so little time between, I think, Preacher killing the shark in the kitchen and then Russell dying. It's such a tiny chapter compared to everything else we would have been doing. Well, actually, or even the shark eating the bird and then Preacher blowing up the shark. That's the one.
Oh yeah,
that would have been tiny.
Yeah. Now, when you came out with the chapter idea, how pleased were you with yourself?
I was pretty pleased because I've always known this has had a lot of chapters because we both have the same cardboard sleeve DVD with the chapter list on the inside cover. So I've always known, like, wow, this film has a lot of chapters compared to literally every other film I've ever seen. So I don't know why I didn't think of that first, but it's been a happy balance between doing the kills and doing minute by minute, because I went back through today and was just watching chunks of it. And going through minute by minute, I did spot some things we didn't talk about. So, like, miraculously, we've done 35 episodes now on Deep Blue Sea, and I still found things we didn't mention going through first time around. So I think minute by minute we could have done it. I can't remember right now. There were just little sparks in my brain here and there. So maybe not enough to fill a 20-minute episode. But I feel like if we did it minute by minute, we would have coped. We could have done it, but it would have taken maybe too much of our time. Because there's a lot. Work goes into promoting and editing and all the post-production of this show. So a weekly, an hourly show a week is kind of a good balance, I think.
And I mean, 15-minute, 20-minute chunks really aren't enough to explore if we did it a minute and 15, 20 minutes for each episode, that wouldn't be enough. So I like being able to sit in and explore an hour, but 33 is a lot more palatable than 100.
Yes. So let's hope that breaking a lesser film into 10 chunks, we're still going to try and keep the shows roughly the same length. So let's hope that that's still going to pan across for Deep Blue Sea 2. So whilst we're kind of on the topic of next week in Deep Blue Sea 2, did you watch it again this week?
I did. I watched it again, and I enjoyed it much more than my first watch.
Then I look forward to my
second watch. The blue lighting
watch.
still throws me off. Yeah, the blue lighting kind of gets me a little bit.
Well, it's not just the blue lighting. There's a whole scene that's like blue, and this corridor's green, and this one's red, and this one's orange. You can kind of tell it's a very low budget film where they're probably filming all of that in the same corridor and just changing the lighting.
Yeah, great point. I mean, it didn't have a budget, but there are bull sharks. They're trying to prevent an apocalypse. It's and there's little baby sharks.
Yeah, I would like to make this solemn pledge to all the listeners that no singing of Baby Shark will make it onto the finished audio of this show. Any guests who come on and sing Baby Shark will not be asked back. That's just a pledge, a promise I'm making to you now. Mark and I may have to endure it, but it will be edited out before you do.
I do like you make a great point about the wandering through the same stretch of cheap hallway sets. And listen,
so much of
budget.
So much of the is set in that one main pool room. They're just locked in there. They're just like the flooding happens and they're like, oh, we're trapped in here for the next for so long. And
at least there's some shark finning stuff in the beginning.
Yes, I appreciated that, and I appreciated they kind of explained how they got the shark onto the platform. Big bugbear of ours for the first film, so they got around that one. But there's a lot of issues we're going to get into. My main problem with the film. Okay, they've made sharks super intelligent. because they're trying to make people more intelligent. Michael Beach, the one name actor from the film, Michael Beach, Aquaman's Michael Beach. He's great in Deep Blue Sea 2. He knows what he's doing, and he's doing it well. So he's trying to make sharks super intelligent, or people super intelligent, and he's testing it on sharks. Fine. Why is he testing it on sharks? I don't think that was ever covered. It was never mentioned like, oh, it's because they're such and such, because of these reasonings. It's just, I made sharks super intelligent. End of sentence. And I wanted to know why. I wanted to know the explanation. Maybe it was there and I missed it. I don't know. I'm looking forward to digging back in and finding out if I missed something. But also, we host Deep Blue Sea, the podcast, so I can't not compare this to Deep Blue Sea at every turn. So I was doing like a cast comparison, and we have the character of Scoggins is split across 3 different characters, and we do not have a Janice. And I feel like we needed a Janice to give us just some more exposition about like how deep the facility is, for instance. Just any kind of explanation about this new Aquatica. I can't remember what it's called. But
there's little baby sharks.
Yes, I liked the baby sharks. I like the introduction of having these little killers, like piranhas, basically, roaming around the halls instead of giant sharks.
And it saves on the budget. You don't have a giant shark. You just have things under the water, and you're like, ah!
You have characters running from bubbles, which is fun. Aculos, I think, is the name of the complex. Yeah, Aculos.
Instead of bringing Walt Conti back, you just bring someone underwater with a straw.
Oh, but that's because when they do have the big shark on the platform, it's just a big plastic shark. It doesn't move. It's just this solid lump.
Well, they knocked it out really good.
Yep, must have done.
I mean, listen though, shark finning at least. So they're not saying it's good. They're kind of, they're condemning it, which is nice. So Lisa has that. It has some baby sharks.
Yep.
And I do like exploring how people are able to be creative on a budget. It's just, I like that. How do they do it? Yeah. I mean, we'll have fun. I think we'll have fun.
Yeah. And if people think that for the underwear scene in Deep Blue Sea is gratuitous, oh boy, wait till you get to Deep Blue Sea 2. Oh dear.
It's gonna be, but no, we're gonna have some fun. We have some fun returning guests back.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that. We'll bring in some new people to chat about this, and I mean, listen, we brought in some people who didn't like Deep Blue Sea, and we still had some great conversations through this and had some good times. So I think this will force us to even be more creative, to just not dunk on it.
I think we should make a kind of a pledge to, we'll each find something positive for every chapter of the show.
Oh, well, we should do like 3 things.
Oh, okay. I was pitching one, but okay, we'll try and find, between us, we'll try and find 3 positive things in each chapter.
No, wait, 3 each.
Okay, goddamn, Mark, stop giving me more work. Okay, we'll try.
That's good, though.
Listeners will try.
And we can't act like we hate doing it. We got to just talk about what we like. Ugh.
I mean, guaranteed, we're going to be talking about the first film every week, and we love talking about the first film. I mean, we're talking about the sequel, but we're going to be comparing back to the first one every week. So as long as we get to talk about Deep Blue Sea and other shark-related films, then yeah, we're going to have some fun.
I think it's just we're sealing our credentials as the Deep Blue Sea people.
Yeah, I mean, there's a character who, when he drinks something, he can see the Matrix. That happens in this film.
Yep,
that happens.
I love it.
And I literally had to pause the film because I was pissing myself laughing too much. Scene, you know how in the first film when Susan gets the key and she looks at her data and then cut to the window and there's like fish swim away. We have the same thing here, but instead of fish swim away, there is a shark's eye right up to the glass, staring at the characters. I died laughing at that. It's not subtle.
It's gonna be good. See, we're already having fun with it.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
So I have a question. So one thing I didn't really expect through our 33 episodes